Yo, it's your boy Kobus, the realist OG. Yep, I'm back with another update. Okay, so actually, basically, before I I start with the video, let me actually just highlight something. Okay, just the revision of the model, a reminder, not a revision, so that you don't get lost. What is it that I'm talking about, as I'm documenting it. So I'm just keeping things simple as possible. So how I look for setup is I want to see these are steps. So I'm just gonna call this my trading model. So step one, or number one, I'm looking for a 1 day or 1 week VG. This is something that I've actually observed that it happens every day, not necessarily every day, but all the time. So this is what my eye was able to pick up. And then a retest to the above structure, this one. So a retest to that structure, and then I want to see between these two time frame, 4 hour to 1 hour, a market structure shift, or a model if you want to call it. So basically I want to see what a reaction plus a retest plus a reaction away from this. You understand me? So it's 1 day or 1 week fair value gap, a retest to the fair value gap, and then I want to see a reaction away from that level, and then I want to see this happening on a lower time frame. So it is just the fractal nature of price, and then from there this man cannot be calling me now. I'm not available. So I want to see 4 hour to 1 hour market structure shift or a model. So it's the fractal nature of price. So basically, once this forms, it's going to create something like this. I'm sorry. Why is this tricky? Something like this. Sponsor, make up here. Then I want to see price to retest that I'm in here, and then watch price descend. So basically, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, in a nutshell, simple as it is. 1 hour, 1 day or 1 week fair value gap, retest or reaction away from this gap, either 1 week or one day, and then I want to see a market structure shift or a model, either a buy model or a sell model on these two time frames. Between 4 hours, it can be 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, or 1 hour, and then increase here, stop loss, and then I target what? I target the low of this model. I know it doesn't make sense, but it will make sense in a few. So let's go to the chart, to the real life chart. So you see what happened actually here is that we had two gaps. We had this gap, which was also a daily fair value gap, and then the above gap. I remember that I actually took a sell on the first gap, and then I was floating few bucks, and then it lost. I saw that price was willing to go and retest the above gap, which at that time I thought it was going to be a breakaway gap. It went and retested it and then reacted away from it. If you can see this these red candles, so this was a reaction away from the gap. So I went down into smaller time frame to look for an entry. Okay, so let's go and see. Motherfucker. This nigga is mad, bro. Okay, so let's go to a lower time frame and see if indeed we had a setup. Actually, you can actually see that it's still happening, but I went out because I'll tell you in a bit. Yeah, so what I saw is that initially we had this gap here, we had this gap here, we have this gap here. Why is this thing behaving like this? We had this gap here. You can see from once price entered this gap, which was that 1 day gap, you can see this big candle to the downside, and then price, there was this gap here which was 1 hour. That's the reason why I didn't start by entering. And then I saw that there was a big gap, big move to the downside, this move to the downside, and then we had this gap here. I was like, no, let me wait, because this gap has a potential of holding price to the upside to this level, so we don't know if that's gonna happen. That is the reason why I actually waited before I can say I'm going to start entering. So where is that model? Let me remove everything here. Wait. Git. So you can see how actually price was behaving here. It consolidated inside this gap, and then it broke the gap to the downside. So we had a big of break of structure here, retest, push to the downside more, which I did not also enter because I want to enter a clear. I think it would be better if we just remove everything since we are discussing here, and then things are obscure in the way. So I went to 4 hour to look for, actually I think I entered on a 3 hour to a clear model. Okay, Well, this was perfect model. I don't know why I didn't enter this. I guess I didn't see it, but this was actually a perfect setup. Break of structure here, fair value gap to the downside. But me myself, I entered here on this second one. You can actually see I still have the I don't know what they call it, that short depiction, or I went short there. So I went short here. Okay, I went short here, put my stop loss there, and then my target was this previous quarter's low. Okay, so and then I updated my stop loss to this level. I entered another trade here, but I saw that price currently it was not showing me that it's willing to descend. You see what it did here? It created a gap and then it entered, it retested it, and it expanded to the upside. So I went out the minute I saw that price was rejecting this gap here. So yeah, I made like a few bucks. So yeah, I just wanted to share that trade. This was actually a beautiful trade because it moved. If you check, price started offering opportunities from here, provided an opportunity there, and there. I think that was enough to actually make cash or few bucks after waiting for like a long time. The only thing about this model is that you're gonna have to wait. You can wait for like, because it takes time for the setup to play out, since we are looking at daily levels and weekly levels. So if you don't have a daily level, you're just gonna have to wait for minimum of like 3 weeks for a model to form. Minimum of 3 weeks. If you're not patient, you will fuck it up, which is something I have been actually working on. Being patient, I think that's what actually most traders they struggle with, but this thing is teaching me to wait. Yeah, and I'm actually looking at quite a number of assets now, so that I don't end up like being impatient and doing like fucking it up. So yeah, so while I'm still waiting for setups to play, across different assets, that grants me an opportunity to view other markets, and if I'm seeing opportunities, I can enter there. So yeah, more waiting. I think if there's more waiting and I increase the number of the assets I'm looking at, I think it makes it better than looking at one for a long time. You can spend probably like the whole quarter waiting, and you don't get a setup. I think I may become impatient and start doing wrong decisions. But so far, I'm happy with what I have. So this setup, I see that it may still play out, but we shall see how it actually plays. Because you see, we have an order block there, but we have this. We have this. We have this gap here. which has a potential of holding price. We have this gap which can propel price further to the upside. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but if I see that price maybe it disrespect this gap like this, let me show you. If I see price now that it goes like this, price wins in Jan. If I see price now maybe doing something like this, creating a gap, I know it's a sell to this previous quarter's low. It won't have to enter since it still falls within the initial setup with using those daily fair value gap as a foundation or as a high time frame level to frame a setup. So yeah, that is what I've been actually looking at for the past, it's 2 weeks now since last week, I guess, because I have been not actually since last week. I was watching these things since the beginning of the new quarter. So you can tell from around the 24th of June, price has been just consolidating here, creating more liquidity, buy side liquidity. It went to the upside, and now it's starting to push down, and we shall see how price actually play out, and again you have to also consider I can say the fundamentals, like how is the economic state currently globally, because that I believe it also affects the price of gold and silver. So we shall see how it goes. It's all about waiting, which is something you will realize later. I have realized later, like at some point you have to be tired of like losing, like fucking it up, like until how long are you going to keep on doing that? Until how long are you going to keep on not following your model? This thing it's easy, but we complicate it. Is your model there? No. Then why are you trading? Simple as that. Is your model there? Yes. Then trade. If it wins, you make money. If it loses, you're consistent. You are disciplined because you're not sabotaging yourself into entering trades that are not there. You see here, now, I see a potential buy, but I'm not gonna buy because I have rules that I have created for myself. I cannot afford to trade lower time frame, so I'm going to stick with what my model says. That's it. This is actually a beautiful range. This is a low, this is a high, a fair value gap. It's a beautiful range to frame buys, but to look for buys, I'm not saying it's gonna buy, but to look for buys if they're going to happen as a range. Maybe let's say you were trading lower time frame, maybe you're entering on 5 minutes and 3 minutes, 15 minutes. But I know if I do that, in the long run, I'm sabotaging myself because I'm teaching my brain that it's okay to enter a trade that is not my model, because I think it's going to win. So it's okay to enter it. If I make money, it's worse. It's even worse now because I will be telling my brain, oh, it's okay to break the rules and make money. That's where you break the consistency rule. One swar. And if you lose, the loss hits harder, bruh. It hits harder because you didn't follow the rules. You're like, why do I keep on? So yeah, I think it's all about, you have to tell yourself, no, I'm done fucking around, bro. I'm going to make this work. So yeah, that's what I have in a nutshell. This is actually, price has been moving beautiful so lately. I mean, like, to those who have time, who are trading whatever model they're trading, this uptrend, I see a lot of opportunities there. This downtrend, a lot of opportunities there. I think for people who are actually not full-time, but yeah, full-time, and they're just maybe at home trading, and I think they've probably been making money lately because charts have been so clear out lately. So yep, I'm signing out. It's your boy Kobus-The Realist OG. Peace.